Okay.
And I'm not grinding as much because my mouth is closed shut with the mouth tape. However, sometimes maybe like once a month, I forget the mouth tape and I grind. And sometimes I sleep without the retainer. Here's my thought process. The retainer is plastic. The plastic is sitting in my mouth all night. That can't be good, and we can go off on that. The second one is if I don't wear the plastic, you're telling me I'm going to grind my filling and it could lead to disease. So what the fuck do I do here? I feel very between a rock and a hard place.
I know.
Because there's something to me that's unsettling about wearing a retainer all night with plastic seeping into my bloodstream.
But quickly, before you go through that, because I understand what you're saying, is it fair to say that if people tackle the majority of the inflammation that's occurring in their body, they would have enough defense to defend against a plastic mouth guard?
And to be honest with you, there's different types of plastic. And it's a good point, Lauren, but yeah, and you're in the right church, but you're wrong pew. I mean, because a lot of these night guard, thanks, you're in the right church, you're wrong pew. A lot of these materials that we use, some of them are nylon, some of them, but you want to make sure they're BPA free. I mean, plastics, I mean, we live in a world, I was cracking up. There was a video online about somebody who was like getting up in Congress, like, end all the use of plastic in the world. And it's like, and she had a plastic bag and all this stuff. And
people don't even realize how much plastic's in all that.
Yeah, no, it's everywhere. I mean, I think we are entering a place where, my favorite expression right now is like staying healthy is like walking through a minefield. That's why, these types of podcasts with this kind of information is empowering to people. And it really does help. There are so many people that come to me that say, oh, I heard you on this podcast. I heard you on that podcast. Wow. I wish I could have heard more about this. And it's so this information can be very helpful because it's really, you got to sort the wheat from the chaff out there. There's a lot of BS, and then there's a lot of like this. The biggest bullshit out there right now is the number one sweetener. The number one sweetener that's being used in natural oral care products is something called xylitol, and there were studies. Xylitol is in organic chemistry textbooks. It's called a high value chemical. Okay.
Great.
It is a chemical, and it is made by now there's an organic material that's used, Xylan. So Xylan, is in cranberries and it could be in a bunch of stuff. It's also in the corn cob, GMO corn cobs. So people don't realize a lot of the xylitol development took place by a subsidiary of DuPont called Danisca, and it was in Europe, and they took GMO corn cobs, which was a bio waste. They were going to throw it away, right? They got the GMO corn, now they got the GMO corn cobs piled up that they were going to throw away, and they were able to develop this chemical that is not as sweet. It's sweet, but it has like 20% or something the calories of sugar. It's not really absorbed, very poorly absorbed by the body and not recognized at all. So it's not metabolized by the body at all, which is why xylitol, they were trying to use it in food products to lower the caloric intake, and it was giving people diarrhea and gas because it just nukes the microbiome. And in the mouth, it disturbs the microbiome, and it kills a bacteria that caused tooth decay called Strep mutans bacteria. But that research was very misleading because even though you're killing Strep mutans bacteria, you're disturbing the balance of those bacteria in the mouth. Strep mutans, which have been associated with tooth decay, live in your mouth. And they are very peaceful and benevolent when you're in a state of balance. And the amazing thing that I learned in my microbiome research was that there's something called the dental-sialo-microbial complex. The teeth, saliva, and microbes. When this microbial flora of your mouth is actually an intelligent semi-permeable membrane that transports minerals from your saliva to remineralize your teeth, for your teeth to heal themselves, in a sense. I mean, when it gets to the dentin layer or past what we call the dental enamel junction, difficult to do that. But incipient cavities do remineralize from saliva, microbes taking ionic minerals from saliva, including calcium and phosphorus, to the surface of your teeth to heal. It takes molecular oxygen to your gums for your gums to be healthy. So your microbiome is this literally creating this healthy metabolism